Hello, welcome to another Priest Adventure. This week we're at the Marble Mine Trail. It's in the James Sloppy Floyd State Park outside of Summerville, Georgia, north of Rome. This one is listed as 2.5 miles and easy. We're going to start off with an easy one. We haven't been on the trail for a little bit, so we're just getting back into it again. I've never done this trail before, so don't know what to expect with it. I have been looking at the elevation for it, so we're going to do it in a clockwise manner just to kind of get the elevation done and then work our way back down. So we're going to see if it is 2.5 miles. We're going to see if it is easy. And we are the only one in the parking lot. It is a Thursday morning at 9 o'clock, which is surprising because it's so easy. So with that being said, let's get it. Now it's looks like it's an orange blazed trail right here. Pretty well blazed from what we've seen so far. We're only 100 yards in and I've already seen 3 blazes, one on the bridge back there and then 2 on trees, and they've got it painted on the trees too. There's also a purple blaze. I'm not really sure what that's about, but ALLTRAILS actually has this listed as the Marble Mine Trail and Upper Loop Trail, like Upper Lake Loop Trail, and the lake is just over there. So, but so far it's a kind of a sandy, gravelly trail. Got some roots around and fairly wide. Almost feels like a Sweetwater Park. Maybe not as wide as Sweetwater Park, but so far so good. And it's, like I said, it's 9 a.m. It's already 77 degrees and humid, and wife says there's a chill in the air. I don't feel it. I'm starting to get the sweat prickling out on me, but we'll see. And again, it's blaze, blaze, blaze. You can see them running up the trail here. So maybe this one actually has their blazes right, and you can't get turned around like at some of the other trails we've been on. There's actually a blaze across from each other, 2 of them on each side of it. They want to make sure you don't step off the trail. But we're coming up to the loop itself. It's like an access trail that comes up to the loop. Spiderweb right in the forehead. So this is where the trail splits. You got the Lake Rim Trail. Turn my thing on again. You got the Lake Rim Trail, and then you've got the Marble Mine Trail. This is 0.8 miles. We're actually going to go that way. That way we get the elevation done, and we'll come back on this side. So I'd rather go up than down because my shins don't like the steep downhill. But it's as wide. You can drive a truck through this. It's so wide. Maybe we should have drove our truck through here. Just drove to the mine. But like, I still got it hanging off my beard. Like 50 yards on this trail, I walked into a spider web from head to toe and got a spider on my glasses. So we may be picking up a stick and knocking some spider webs down. And it's July, middle of July right now, and I am looking forward to the fall and winter. I can't do the heat anymore. This is killing me. So still gonna keep hiking, still gonna keep it going, but I do not like hiking in the summer. It's just too hot in the south to do it. But as long as everything is dry fit, and everything is, I'll be all right. Once I get stopped, everything will dry up. So we're still going up. Okay, I'm not sure exactly how far we are in, but we just came up on a clearing. There's a picnic table right here. It looks like a little outhouse here, but don't use that. There's bathrooms at the parking lot, which I may get a shot of. And there's a building up here with a walkway to it. I'm not going to mess with any of that stuff. I think this is the concrete building that I'll read later in one of the reviews. The guy says to stay away from the concrete building off the trail because rattlesnakes like to roost in it. So, and it's hot, so they'll be out up there. We're keeping an eye out for them down here, but I'm more worried about snakes than I am bear. Snakes are mean, they'll get you. Just try to stay away from those. Try to stay away from all of it if I can. But I believe that is the concrete building that he was saying stay away from. So don't go near the concrete buildings up here, even if you see any other ones, which if I come across them, I'll pull the camera up and get a video of it. Looks like there's a footer there for a foundation, like an old home site. It's a wall or something there. So I don't know why this place is called. I know that Rome, oh, there's the concrete. That's the concrete building we're walking up to. Rome is called Floyd County. I'm sure it's named after the same person that this park is named after. Apparently he was well known as sloppy. I don't know why, but well enough to where that's listed on the state's parks is James H. Sloppy Floyd. So I'm not sure why. And this looks like this would be the concrete building. This looks like it'd be snaky anyway. Right there. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere near that thing. That does not look good. So I think we've done most of our uphill. We're kind of going downhill now. We will see if there's anything else. And somebody has posted, done a lot of painted rocks and left them on the trail. I'll get a shot of that real quick. There was one on the bridge, the handrail of the bridge, that said Jesus on it. I've seen a couple of little beady ones that had like a little heart on it. That one had a sun on it. So somebody was going through here with painted rocks and putting them on the trail. And we have another spider web. Yeah, she's freaking out. So a little spider right there. If you can even see it. It's hard to see on this camera. But my wife's freaking out because she can see the spider over there. So we're gonna leave him alone. Still gaining elevation. We got a pretty steep area coming up. Kind of hard to see on the camera. It kind of flattens everything out. But it's all hardwood bottoms, and it's nice. It's quiet. All you hear is the crunching of this. It's not gravel. It's just the sandy ground that's got a bunch of rocks in it, like almost like pea gravel type of thing. And gnats. Apparently the Marble Mill trail is also part of the Pinhoti. So if you were doing the Pinhoti in its entirety, you would end up doing this. Maybe on another day, at another time. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about walking 300 miles at one go. So we're gonna get to the top of this hill mountain. We are in the Appalachians, and we're gonna get a drink of water and take a break. So I'll check back in when we get up there. So see you in a second. We're still going up. We've came up a pretty good incline there. We still have a little ways to go, and it looks like it switches back and runs along the other mountain over here. There's a creek running between the two. But we need water bad. There's pouring sweat up here. And the air's not moving because you're in these trees and down in a valley. So this one's going to get a real interesting review at the end of it. So stay until the end. But other than that, it's beautiful scenery. I hear water running up ahead. I don't know if that's a waterfall or if that's just a rapid. So if we turn the corner, we should be able to see what it is. Liter bottles, smart water. You can't beat it. We have two. We share one and then go into the next one. just in case if I have to. I've got my Sawyer squeeze. We can fill up from a creek or the waterfall itself. But if this is truly a 2.5 mile trek, we shouldn't go through 2 liters of water in that time. It shouldn't take all that long to do it. I think we're right now, what are we? Come on, phone. We're almost a mile in. So, but kind of taking our time just because that incline, it was a kicker. It had a pretty good one. And I forgot my dry fit hanky back in the car. I forgot to throw it in my pocket, so I'm having to use my shirt to dry off my head. But that's part of it. And we're gonna get back on this again. So what I thought was a waterfall, turns out it is the marble mine. Go ahead and walk that way. It is the marble mine. I thought it was in an open area. By the pictures, it looked like it was all open around it, but it's in the woods. I mean, it's 0.8 of a mile up that steep incline. So if you come in, you do it clockwise, they have a big hunk of concrete. Yeah, right there for you to cross over instead of jumping rocks. But yeah, there's a bridge and a rock that's wonky. You got a bridge, and it goes underneath the rock shelf, kind of like Nakalula. Somebody left a crock on the floor here. And I guess that's part of the mine there. There's a hole back in there, and there's a hole back in there. And you got like a bench made out of the thing, but it doesn't go anywhere. It just walks around it. And the water's fairly clean, kind of clear, a little gray. But yeah, marble mine. Huh, who knew? I know that Ball Ground up in North Georgia is the marble capital. Like the downtown sells just slabs of marble everywhere, countertops, sinks, I mean all sorts of stuff. I had a friend of mine that lived there years ago. It was full of antique stores and marble shops. But I didn't know that Somerville had a mine for marble. I guess they were just scouting it out. It doesn't go very deep, but it's a quick little stop just to cool down. You can't swim in it, you can't wade in it. Got a sign right over there, and no fishing in the pool, but I don't see any fish anyway. It's a very shallow pool, and it just runs down and makes the creek that we were passing. So it's a natural rock edge. It looks like. It doesn't look like they did any blasting, and I don't even know how in the heck they got up here. I mean, the road was wide enough for my wife just pointed out another painted rock that says hope. We've been crossing them all over the place. It's like Easter egg hunting. Like they got them in the trees, they got them just all sorts of places. But we're going to continue on this. Finish this 2.5 miles out, and I think it ends up over at the lake. So got to keep up with the ALLTRAILS map, because there are trails that come off of this. There was a yellow one back there. Looks like there's a blue trail here, but we're just going to stay on the orange trail from what I can see. But I'll update if needed. If there's a split here, I need to pull up my phone and look. So yeah, true. Okay, right here is where it's going to throw you off. On here, this little sign, the orange that we've been following is the Pinhoti. So you'd go up the mountain to go to the Pinhoti, but the loop trail, you're going to stay on that and it turns blue. Although that marker down there is white, so I don't know. The markers are getting kind of wonky on us, the blazes. But so long as they have those signs, we should be okay. And again, I'm still using the free ALLTRAILS app. I really considered buying the Plus, but some of the things were like, if you step off trail or if you make a wrong turn, it'll notify you that you've made a wrong turn. It is nice that it allows you to download them when you're offline, so you can use them offline. But like John's Mountain, which I'll be showing later on, because I messed up that video, I'll be showing that one again later on. There's a section of that trail that shows that you curve back, but you actually have to go further out and come back. And if I had the ALLTRAILS Plus, it would show that we were off trail and would be sending me notifications. So we've done, on this, we've done, she's freaking out. We've done the elevation, we've seen the mine, and now we're making our way to the loop. And these are, I don't know why they had a blue blaze on that thing, but these are white. I don't know. Come on, state parks. You know, get us right. Get us how we need to be. If it's blue, keep it blue. If it's white, make that sign white. But as of right now, we're following the white trail. I'm going to check my phone and see if we are on the map right. Yes, we are on the map right. So we're doing like we're supposed to. Keep that phone in your pocket, keep it running. If you have the ALLTRAILS Plus, you can download offline and keep it going. But I pulled the map up while I was like in Rome and just left it on my phone until I got here and hit start. It's going to follow you with GPS. It doesn't really care about the cell signal. So, and we're coming up onto another sign. So we'll see what this one says. But again, it had a blue blaze and we're still walking the whites. So we'll see. Now my wife has got a stick, and because we came across another spider web. So, oh, the little frog, little rain frog. He was too small to get on this camera. Just got done with the sign up there. This is part of the Pinhoti, because here are the orange blazes for the Pinhoti. At the sign where it says private property, you turn a hard left, and we're going to go up this way. Now the blazes have turned blue. So I don't know why it's even got a white blaze on it. It's that little section right there, just from the mine to this, and now we've gone blue. But it's going to go up and it's going to kind of kick back on itself and go right back the way it was. I guess we're just barely skirting the property line of the state park and private. So I'm interested in seeing where this comes out at. Okay, we walked up to where the point is. I'll show it on the map where we actually turned around, and it looked like it was going just towards the Pinhoti. And the private property sign here actually has two blazes, one for the left, one for the right. But you go right. And somebody, whoever had done this before, had gone left, went up, and figured that they were going the wrong way and turned around. And of course, ALLTRAILS isn't showing us the map, it's showing what the first person did. So everybody else is following along. So don't do that tail like it shows on the map. Turn right at the private property sign, and you can see the blue blazes all the way down. We didn't see it when we were going. So, and we were just following the map the way it was supposed to be. Is that going to throw off the mileage? Maybe, a little bit. We didn't go too far until I figured out that it was supposed to double back on itself, and it didn't. And I was like, great, somebody just turned around and walked back while they were recording it. So, yeah, at the private property sign, turn right. You'll save yourself a little bit of time and maybe a little bit of sweat. Unless you like sweating, then that's up to you. I don't. So now we're back onto the trail like we should be. And we're going to see where this ends up. I have a feeling it's going to be back at the lake. It should be. It's up at the upper lake rim, what they called it. Now doing this in a clockwise fashion, it does have that big elevation gain at the beginning, and then you kind of go up and down on the way back. So we're going to be doing a lot of ups and downs on this. But I don't know if it's better doing it that way and getting your elevation done and then just do these short up and downs, or if it's better to do this way and then just go down back to your vehicle. We'll know at the end. Depends on how steep these elevation gains are and these drops. As of right now, this one's pretty good. It's pretty good downhill. And we're still following the blue blaze. So we've gone from orange to white to blue. That's I don't know. I don't know why they can't just keep it to one color and you just follow it and you're done. I don't know why they got to throw that white in there. It's just enough to throw you off. Okay, we've come to an intersection, and yeah, they got backcountry campsites, so it'd be primitive camping. But the blue blaze is going to the left, the Pinhoti blaze is going to the right. There's also a yellow trail. I don't know what that yellow trail is for, but we're going to head off to the left here and go up this. It's a road. And again, there's a white blaze over there. I don't get it. I told my wife that I'd stop complaining about the blazes, but they're everywhere. So you got white there, you got yellow here, so this is another trail. And this is blue and yellow now, so they come together. But this is actual road. This is just a dirt road that they probably use to access the campsites and all that stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to come up onto the backcountry campsites. So it'd be primitive camping where you have to carry everything in and your water and all that stuff. So backpack camping at its best. And they still charge you to do that. It's like $5 to $7 a night. You got to register at the ranger's office and tell them where you're going to be at and all that stuff. So I want to do that, but I want to do that on the Cohutta Trail, the one that's got all the waterfalls that we'll show. I'm kind of planning on this fall. I want to do it whenever it's chilly and the leaves are changing. Not necessarily camp, but do that hike. Because it's really pretty. It's got a great scenic view from the top. We usually catch that at the very end. But it's a bear of a trail. A lot of slick rock, loose rock that just falls away. So you're kind of slipping going uphill. And for one thing, they got the signage on point. Pinhoti and Marble Mine, they want you to know where that mine's at and how to get to the Pinhoti. So that's pretty cool. But the Cohutta Trail, it's a 10-mile trail. We don't walk the 10 miles. We don't walk the whole perimeter of it. We actually go start on the Cohutta. It's Cohutta or Cohutta, I can't remember. But then you step off into a spur and then another spur, and it takes you past all the waterfalls. And the Welcome Center there actually has they're really great at telling you how to get there to do those things. The gnats are crazy today. Not having an issue with mosquitoes, but the gnats, they're all over the place. But the Welcome Center there is really great. They walk me through what spurs to catch, and they're numbered so you can keep up with where you're at. So, but we're planning on that one a few months from now. Let the heat dissipate and have a nice hiking day of 70 where it's not 90% humidity, and it would be great. So we're about 1 3/4 miles in. We're kind of on the top of the mountain now, so it's all pine up here. So it was hardwoods in the valley down next to the creek, but up here it's a lot of pines. So decided to stop for a drink before we get over here towards the lake, and we should be coming up towards the end of it here pretty soon. So we're gonna finish this sip of water and get back on it. We literally just got a drink right there. Start coming down this hill, and it looks like you just need to keep going that way. But no, thankfully I looked up And on this tree off a little spur is the blaze with an arrow to the right. So if you keep going straight, it actually dead ends. Is where they push some of the dirt down there. So you got to go off to the right where that little thing is. So keep your eyes up, watch where you're going, look at your feet, don't step on a snake, but look at where you're going to and check those blazes. They'll sneak up on you. Next thing you know, you've walked over there and you end up down a side trail. So I mean, I just turned the camera off. We walked about 10 yards. I was like, hold up. And it looks like they're trying to do like some trail maintenance and spread it out this way, and maybe it'll connect back too. But if you don't know, you could end up in the woods, and that could be in a bad spot. Georgia woods are not very forgiving whenever it comes to getting lost. We've just come out of the woods after taking that little spur, and it says that's Jenkins Gap Trail. I guess it is. It probably part of that yellow trail is probably Jenkins Gap or the white. So now we're going across a parking lot, which I guess you could park here and walk up into the backcountry trail because the signs are here. So, and here they've got an info board over there, but Marble Springs backcountry sites. You got to check in at the park office. I guess there's 4 sites, and they'll give you the permit, and you got to hang it from there. So we should be passing those backcountry trails. It's pretty cool that you can park here and walk to them, and not have to park at the trailhead like where we parked at to start with. But I guess if you did it the opposite way, it'd be a shorter walk. But I'm really interested in these campsites. And there's little tree frogs, little rain frogs all over the place. They're everywhere. I have a feeling they'd be climbing all over your tent or your hammock. So I'm wondering if these sites have like hammock access, fire rings, you know, what do they offer? And is it worth the price of whatever they charge? And we're coming up to the lake now. Okay, we've come back out of the woods just from the parking lot there. We're back into a little field. It's a small one, but I'm not sure. I think they may be up this way. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna find those campsites though. I'd like to see what they look like. They're back in there, and then you have the lake. So this is Upper Lake up here. That's why it's the Upper Lake Rim. It's a nice lake. A good place to bring a rod. So if you're coming up here to backcountry camp, bring a small tackle box and a rod with you. You could really use up a good day just sitting on the water, and bring you a small tripod seat. There's no places to sit. That was the biggest. Oh, it was a butterfly. I thought it was the biggest moth of my life. So this is still the Upper Lake Trail and backcountry trail. We're just stepping back into the woods again. So we're gonna find those backcountry campsites. They got to be back in here somewhere. We haven't gone a quarter mile from the parking lot, but we'll find them. And we're going back uphill again. And we have lost the blue blaze, but we're on the yellow blaze. Yeah, I'll check the map just to make sure we're going the right way, but I'm certain we're going the right way. Give them their due. They're good at building bridges. That's a good wide one. I mean, this is wide enough for like the Sweetwater Park crowds in Lithia Springs, and that place gets crowded even this time of the morning on a Thursday. And you take it like right now when school's out, you can forget it. You can forget going on that trail. Okay, so the backcountry campsites are up here off to the right. But I don't know if I'd want to camp here when this is like a swamp. I mean, this is like the leaves, or the vegetation just keeps that water just stagnant. you want to go check out the backcountry campsites, or I wonder how far they go back in there. I don't know how far they go back in there. We're not going to bother with it. We're going this way so we can keep up with the ALLTRAILS thing. But I don't like how it's like all that vegetation is just holding that water. So I'm sure that it's at night it's probably a mosquito mess to the backcountry. Red Top Mountain used to have backcountry campsites on the backside, away from all of the lodges and buildings and all that stuff. It was close to the marina, and you could park there, and it was maybe a quarter-mile walk out to them, and it had fire rings, but it was right on the lakeside, and that was perfect because you got the nice breezes. You couldn't use it for hammocks because there wasn't very many trees. They were pretty far apart, but it was great for like a pop-up tent, 4-man dome or something like that. And we're opening back up to the lake again. But yeah, Red Top had some really nice primitive camping. I don't know if they still have it. They probably do. They don't really change things very much. They got a sign for white-tailed deer. So if you stay in here long enough, you'll see a white-tailed deer. I guess they'll come out and do meet and greets. Who knows? Like McIntosh Reserve. If you wait until night, right before dark, you get a show in the field. And we're gonna camp that and show that on this channel. It's gonna happen. We usually by this time we've camped 2 or 3 times there. It's cheap. They actually have a water park for little kids, and they got huge campsites. But we haven't been able to do it this year. Just too much stuff going on. So hoping that here in the near future we'll get the tent out and get out there and get a camp and cooking and all that stuff. Get that going on. Get back into that. So we still got a lot more stuff coming up in the next few weeks that we have to do. It's going to take up a good chunk of our time, and getting some work done around our house and like my mom's house and stuff like that. So you can't be everywhere at once, but I try. I was just over at my mom's house yesterday. Had to level off the deck of her lawnmower. So between that and some other little projects we have got going on, so we're keeping ourselves busy. But we're trying to make it a point to do more hiking and get it on this channel. I don't like waiting months between videos. I'm trying to do them once a week, but life kind of kicks you, and it happens. So we're going to try to knock out this thing, get back here to where we get back to the car, and if anything crazy comes up, I'll turn on the camera. But until then, it's just a bunch of walking next to a lake in the heat and humidity. We're getting to the end of the loop. About to turn left and do the approach trail again, back to the car. We drove the car today because we were going to a state park, and I knew that it would be, the roads would be okay. Wouldn't have to worry about Forest Service roads or anything like that. But we're back at the sign where we went up, and it's just short approach back to the parking lot, back to the car. The park here at the parking lot has a bathroom, men and women's bathroom with running water. It's not one of those chemical toilets or one of those outhouse things like you'll see at the Johns Mountain, but it actually has sinks that work and flushable toilets. It doesn't have AC, so you can't go in there and cool off. But at least it's cleaner. It could be worse. And plenty of stalls, so it's got a fairly big parking lot. It's a good size, and again, it's state park, $5 to park. I'm not sure if you can get a state pass. I want to say you can, but they don't have like a military discount, so I've never really bothered with it. But it's like I told my wife that I would like to make it a point in 1 year to hit as many state parks as we can hit, because I have a a wall hanger that has the state parks listed on it and a marker so you mark out the state park that you've been to. And I'd really like to get that thing filled. So whenever it comes time to do that, I'll probably buy the state pass if they have one. I think they do. I'm pretty sure they do. Comment if you know they do or not, what the prices are. I cannot remember to save my life. But I'll buy a state park at that park pass at that time, and we're going to hit as many state parks as we can. May camp them from one to the other and do hikes and just knock this out. May knock as many of these out. See, there's the Jesus rock. We may knock as many of these things out in a year as we can, between that and historic places. I know my wife does not like historical stuff. It's not her bag. We got a group of kids coming down the hill, but I love them. But I want to start hitting all the state parks that I can hit a certain region and just camp it and just hike it, just go crazy. And if I can talk my wife into it, for 1 year, we're going to hit as much as we can and knock that stuff out. So if there's a state park that you're interested in, comment. We'll see what they got there and see if there's anything worth hiking. Now I'm going to turn this camera off before I end up getting a whole bunch of little kids on here. All right, we're back at the car. You can see over my shoulder there, that is actually the bathroom right there. It's like I said, it's not bad running water. It's a good place to go and actually splash some water on your face, or change your clothes if you sweat through them like I do. But I wear dry fit so it dries out. I'm gonna get a drink of water before I start the review. And dry fit hanky. Like I said, I left it in the car. I will never do that again. So these things are a lifesaver. Okay, Marble Mine Trail to Upper Lake Loop. It's shown as easy, 2.5 miles. Experience this 2.5 mile loop trail near Summerville, Georgia. Generally considered an easy route. Takes an average of 1 hour, 7 minutes to complete. It's a popular trail for hiking and walking, but you can still enjoy some solitude during quieter times of day. We saw nobody, absolutely nobody, until we were walking the approach back, and there's a group of, what was that, like 8 kids? Like 2 adults and 8 kids, little kids. So they're playing around down there. You probably can't hear them because of the mic. So, reviews of the trail. 5 stars, was from 4 days ago. Super easy with a little elevation. Ran into one family on the way, which was nice. Would love to see it after a heavy rain. The mine would be neat after a heavy rain, but the trail would be slick. Because some of those spots were kind of muddy, and it's been a few days since it rained. There were some places where water was standing. We just walked around it. Let's see. The other one is a 1 star. This is from August 21. Not worth W-O-R-T. Not worth it. Not worth $5 or the sweat. Sorry, was good company with me. They had good company with them though. Okay, so they didn't care for it. So our trip took 2.54 miles. Now that 0.04 could be that little dog leg that we did and came back because of the trail shows that it did that. Don't do that, just turn right at the sign, you'll be fine. We did it in an hour and 18 minutes. Not bad, not bad at all. My rate of it is, I would give it 3 stars. It is a good trail, but I would put it more on the moderate side of easy. Now I consider an easy trail to be like walking the mall. Something flat, something that's going to be really easy to walk. I'm a middle-aged man. I don't take, 100 feet of elevation within half of, a quarter mile or an eighth of a mile as being easy. It's a slug to get up through it. I am overweight. I'm trying to lose it, and this really takes your breath and gets the sweat going. It doesn't help that it is probably about 85 degrees at 10:30 in the morning, but that's just how it goes in Georgia. But yeah, I would give it a 3 star. It's a good trail. The mine, it's okay to stop and sit down and actually take a break and have a snack. The backcountry camping, I wouldn't bother. It's too close to that swampy stuff. It's not going to be a good sleep. I'm sure you're going to be using a thermocell all night and fighting mosquitoes. But with that being said, that's the Marble Mine Trail in Summerville, Georgia, the James H. Sloppy Floyd Park. It's a nice park. It's got some nice picnic pavilions and stuff like that. It's just a little bit too far away from Rome to really make it. Well, you could make it if you lived in Rome, you could make this a good place to come for a picnic. But anything outside of that, and it's got a pretty good dock to fish off of. So it's got its pluses, it's got its minuses, but that's just it in general. So we're gonna grab something to eat. I may get video of that, I may not. It's gonna be the Harvest Moon Cafe in downtown Rome. We'll see. If I don't get it, then I'll be in the video here. And with that being said, join us on our next adventure. Thank you. Bye.